Something big just snapped in the past half-century is happening right now. In the summer of 2025, over 10 countries canceled numerous trips to the United States, from France, Japan, and South Korea, to nations that once saw America as the ultimate destination. Now they're warning citizens, don't go to the US unless you absolutely have to. Flights are canceled, visas are denied. Major travel companies have pulled their US tour packages entirely, even from world-famous destinations like the Grand Canyon in Times Square. So what's really going on here? Why is the world suddenly avoiding America? Is it because of skyrocketing prices, spiking crime, political chaos, or has something deeper shifted in how the world sees the US? In this video, we're counting down 10 countries that have canceled or drastically reduced travel to the United States in 2025. And the deeper reasons behind it might just force America to take a hard look in the mirror. Number 10. Canada. When even your next-door neighbor stops coming over, it's a sign something's wrong. Canada, once the largest source of international tourists to the US, has slashed its travel to America by a jaw-dropping 48% in the first half of 2025. It wasn't just a slight dip. Travel agencies in Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal canceled thousands of package tours to cities like New York, Las Vegas, and Miami. Buses, flights, and cruise itineraries were wiped from schedules. What changed? Canadians, known for their polite resilience, are citing rising US crime, social unrest, and a growing sense of unease about visiting America. For the first time ever, Canadian media is regularly broadcasting travel advisories about US cities. One couple in Toronto put it bluntly, "We switched our family trip to Portugal. At least there, we don't feel like we need to watch our backs while buying coffee." When a country that shares over 5,500 miles of peaceful border and millions of familial ties starts pulling back like this, it's not about distance, it's about trust. And right now, that trust is broken. Before we dive deeper, give that like button a tap. It really helps push this video out to more people. Number 9. South Korea. South Korea once viewed the United States as the ultimate destination, a vibrant, energetic place where pop culture, business opportunities, and shared democratic values created a strong and lasting bond. But now, in 2025, that perception is unraveling quickly. South Korean tourism to the US has dropped a staggering 44%, prompting major airlines like Korean Air and Asiana to slash their US-bound flights by 20 to 30%. And make no mistake, this isn't about inflation or economic hardship. South Korea's economy is still healthy. What's really driving this collapse is a surge in fear. Fear of gun violence, fear of hate crimes, fear of simply not feeling welcome. Young South Koreans in particular say they're second-guessing trips to US cities that once felt like fantasy come true. A mother from Busan shared this haunting thought. "My daughter used to dream of Times Square. Now she says, what if I get followed just for being Asian?" That fear isn't paranoia. It's built on real stories, real news, and real pain. Longer visa wait times, racial profiling at customs, and a cold diplomatic atmosphere have created a sense that something fundamental has changed. The once thriving cultural connection built through shared entertainment, tech innovation, and youth exchange programs now feels like it's rusting away. That spark of warmth, of mutual admiration, has dimmed. And so the question lingers in South Korea. Is America still the friend it once was, or has it become a place that only smiles when convenient? That uncertainty is driving families, students, and tourists to look elsewhere, to countries that feel safer, friendlier, and more predictable. Number 8. Mexico. If Canada pulling back felt like a political jab, then Mexico's retreat hits like a gut punch. In mid-2025, the Mexican Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a Level 3 travel advisory, warning its citizens to reconsider travel to multiple U.S. states, including Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. That warning wasn't just symbolic. In the months that followed, Mexican tourism to the United States fell by a staggering 41%. For a country that shares one of the busiest borders in the world with the U.S., and whose families, cultures, and economies are deeply intertwined, this level of separation is historic. This goes far beyond immigration battles or policy disagreements. It's about human dignity. In viral social media videos, Mexican travelers are seen being harassed for speaking Spanish, profiled in airport security lines, or outright denied service. These moments have triggered a wave of public anger and a sense of betrayal among ordinary Mexicans. A 26-year-old traveler from Guadalajara put it plainly. I was going to visit my uncle in El Paso. Then I saw how someone like me got treated in a convenience store. I canceled everything. I'd rather go to Spain now. And that's the shift. Not just fewer travelers, but a growing desire to spend time and money elsewhere. Cities like San Antonio, El Paso, and Los Angeles are seeing ripple effects in their hospitality sectors. Hotel bookings down, family reunions postponed, and weekend cross-border shopping almost non-existent. When even your closest neighbor starts building emotional distance, the message is clear. It's not about walls or checkpoints. It's about trust. And right now, that trust has fractured in ways that numbers alone can't fully capture. Number 7. Japan. If there's one country that used to adore the American travel experience, it was Japan. From the neon lights of Times Square to the cinematic streets of Los Angeles, Japanese tourists once saw the US as a dream destination. It wasn't just a vacation, it was a rite of passage, an aspirational escape that reflected everything they admired about the West: freedom, innovation, and opportunity. But in 2025, that dream is beginning to crack under pressure. Tourist arrivals from Japan have plummeted by 58%, the lowest level recorded since 1987. That's not just a statistic, it's a seismic drop in confidence. Japanese media outlets are running fewer travel features about the US, and influencers who once shared glowing reviews of New York and California now focus on Seoul, Paris, or Melbourne. Major Japanese airline ANA slashed its US flights by 60%, citing a sharp decline in interest. Meanwhile, travel agencies in Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka are pushing packages to safer, more predictable destinations. No dramatic announcements, no organized protests, just quiet, methodical redirection. And in Japanese culture, that kind of silence speaks volumes, perhaps more than words ever could. Why the retreat? It's not about affordability. Japan remains one of the most stable and prosperous countries in Asia, with citizens who have the means and desire to travel. The deeper issue is perception. Safety concerns, political instability, erratic immigration policies, these have chipped away at trust. A Tokyo housewife shared, "America used to feel like Kyoto, clean, calm, and peaceful. Now I only see news about unrest, shootings, and medical uncertainty. It feels like a gamble." When a society that places such high value on structure, civility, and reliability begins to lose trust, it doesn't lash out. It simply exits. And that's exactly what Japan is doing. Not with protests, but with their passports. Not with outrage, but with absence. And perhaps that silence is the loudest warning of all, a warning America can't afford to ignore. Before we move into the next country, smash that like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Number 6. Germany. Germans are seasoned travelers, pragmatic, analytical, and generally unshaken by hype. For decades, the United States ranked as a top travel choice for Germans drawn to its natural wonders, vibrant cities, and rich history. But in 2025, that reputation is fading fast. Over 40% of all U.S. tours departing from major cities like Frankfurt, Berlin, and Munich have either been canceled or rerouted to other destinations, according to multiple German travel agencies. Demand has shifted to Iceland's scenic tranquility, Portugal's coastal charm, and Japan's precise order, destinations that promise less unpredictability and more peace of mind. Even more alarming? A recent travel survey revealed that 38% of Germans no longer consider the United States a safe destination. A stunning reversal from a country that once sent millions of its citizens to explore America's coasts, canyons, and culture. That concern isn't rooted in headlines alone. It's fueled by first-hand stories, social media posts, and on-the-ground accounts that paint a picture of a country in flux. One tour operator in Hamburg put it bluntly, "California used to be our golden destination, but now our clients say America feels chaotic. They're choosing cities where they understand the risks and feel like tourists, not targets." Even universities are seeing a drop in German student applicants, with many citing safety fears and unclear healthcare access as major concerns. Germany places a premium on healthcare access, legal clarity, and public order. So when headlines about medical costs, random violence, or social unrest dominate international news feeds, it chips away at trust. And when that trust breaks, so does the flow of tourism. Germany isn't making a political statement. It's making a personal one, a decision from families, retirees, and students to simply go elsewhere. A quiet, calculated redirection that speaks volumes about how even America's closest allies are reevaluating their relationship with the US. Not out of spite, but out of concern. Number 5. India. India, one of the world's fastest-growing outbound travel markets, is rapidly turning away from the United States. In 2025, U.S. consulates in India reported a staggering 70% drop in issued tourist visas compared to the same period in 2024. For a country with a massive, rising middle class eager to explore the globe, this is a dramatic shift. The problem isn't lack of demand, it's bureaucratic gridlock. Visa wait times now exceed 400 days in major Indian cities like Delhi, Mumbai, and Bengaluru. That means families looking to travel in the summer of 2025 had to start the process back in 2023. For many, it's just not worth the wait. Instead, Indian travelers are flocking to countries with smoother entry processes and growing cultural ties: Japan, Thailand, the UAE, and the UK. International travel companies say that bookings to the US have hit decade lows, while demand for Southeast Asia has surged by more than 60% year over year. The real danger here isn't just lost tourist dollars, it's lost influence. Indian students, professionals, and families have historically looked to the US as a land of opportunity. But long lines, policy confusion, and rising concerns about how Indians are treated at US airports have triggered a deeper rethink. In a country of over 1 billion people, even a small shift in perception can lead to massive change. And when 70% of a key market disappears in less than a year, it's not just a glitch, it's a reckoning. Number 4. Philippines. In the Philippines, the American dream has long been alive and well. Generations of Filipinos have family ties in the US, and travel between the two nations was once constant and culturally deep. But in 2025, something has dramatically shifted. U.S. tourist visa applications from the Philippines have dropped by 70%, marking one of the most severe declines in Asia. And it's not because people stopped traveling, they're just going elsewhere. This year, for the first time in modern history, Japan officially surpassed the United States as the top international destination for Filipino tourists. Cheaper flights, more respectful entry policies, and cultural affinity have turned the tide. Social media in the Philippines is buzzing with stories of canceled trips, rejected visas, and long waits at the U.S. Embassy. Filipino vloggers and influencers, once enthusiastic about trips to California or New York, now document their adventures in Seoul, Tokyo, and Singapore. It's not just anecdotal. Travel agencies report up to 60% fewer inquiries about American vacations, while bookings for East Asia are booming. A generation that once dreamed of visiting Disney World now dreams of cherry blossoms and sushi trains. This shift is more than a matter of preference. It's a cultural turning point. And when America starts losing out to its Pacific neighbors in the hearts and minds of one of its most loyal allies, it's a wake-up call. Number 3. France. France, long a cultural ally and transatlantic partner, has sent a clear message in 2025. The American dream is no longer on the itinerary. Tourist arrivals from France to the U.S. have dropped by 52%, one of the steepest declines among major Western nations. This isn't just individual travelers opting out. Entire tour agencies based in Paris, Lyon, and Marseille have canceled all summer packages to the U.S., shifting focus to Spain, Greece, and even Canada. Travel newsletters that once promoted New York shopping sprees and California coastlines now highlight European city walks and Mediterranean cruises. What changed? It's not the euro-dollar exchange rate, it's the perception of unpredictability. French tourists are voicing concerns about mass shootings, racial tension, and extreme healthcare costs in the U.S. As one Parisian tour manager noted, even a romantic trip to the States feels risky now. Our clients would rather sip wine in Bordeaux than risk a hospital visit in Boston. France's departure isn't loud or dramatic, it's systematic. And when a nation so synonymous with tourism and global culture turns away, it signals a deep fracture in the U.S.'s once unshakable allure. Number 2. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom and the United States have always shared more than a language. Cultural exchange, business ties, and tourism have long bound them together. But in 2025, that bond is visibly fraying. Tourist numbers from the UK to the US have dropped by 51%, with travel agencies across London, Manchester, and Edinburgh reporting record low bookings to American cities. Airlines have cut back on transatlantic routes, and more Britons are opting for trips within Europe or to Commonwealth destinations. But what's truly telling is that the British Foreign Office issued soft travel warnings for major U.S. cities, citing rising crime rates, inconsistent medical care, and political volatility. While these aren't hard bans, they're enough to nudge cautious travelers elsewhere. For many Brits, a trip to the U.S. now feels less like an adventure and more like a risk. One travel blogger from London wrote, "New York once felt like a second home. Now I'm told to be on guard just stepping outside the hotel." This isn't just a change in tourist preference. It's a reflection of growing discomfort, a subtle but strong signal that even America's closest cultural cousins are second-guessing the journey. Number 1. The United States itself. Here's the twist. The number one country in this countdown isn't another nation turning its back on the U.S. It's the U.S. itself. Because while international travelers are vanishing, what's even more alarming is that many Americans no longer see their own country as a desirable place to explore. A growing number of Americans are canceling domestic trips due to rising costs, fears around crime in major cities, unpredictable weather events, and political tensions. Cities that once thrived on tourism, from San Francisco to Chicago, are seeing hotels go empty, tours go unbooked, and local economies shrink. In 2025, U.S. domestic travel is down over 22%, and that's not because of foreign relations. It's about how Americans are beginning to perceive their own country, fractured, volatile, and exhausting. Airlines are slashing routes between major U.S. cities, hospitality jobs are disappearing, and local tourism boards are shifting their messaging from "come visit" to "please come back." When even your own citizens start choosing to go abroad rather than explore their own backyard, it's time to ask hard questions. Is America losing its shine? From Japan to the UK, the message is clear. The United States, once the epicenter of global travel dreams, is no longer the must-visit powerhouse it used to be. What was once viewed as the land of freedom and adventure now raises red flags about safety, cost, and chaos. But the biggest alarm bell isn't coming from the outside. It's coming from within. If Americans themselves are second-guessing their travel plans and international allies are quietly walking away, then we're witnessing more than just a tourism decline. We're witnessing a crisis of confidence in the American brand. So what happens next? Can the U.S. rebuild that trust, that allure, that sense of wonder? Or is this the beginning of a long, slow fade from the global spotlight? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned as we uncover the hidden stories shaping our world.